Vaheguru Guru Ramdas Ad Gure Name Jugad Gure Name Sat Gure Name Siri Guru Deve Name. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa. Today we are celebrating two things. One is the martyrdom of the Akal Takhat. And so long we will live, we'll remember that day. And second part of that today is Guru Gobind Singh's Gurpurab. We are celebrating, and this week will continue. What Guru Gobind Singh represent and what Akal Takhat represent, combined together, we sit here and then we understand. It represents only one thing: deathlessness. That's all is about. Temples are not stones, temples are not marbles, temples are not people, temples are not nations, temples are not this, temple is not that, temple is not jewelry, the priest, temple is not the guru, temple is not God, temple is Isht. That is where a representation is made to feel that there is God, there is Guru, there is people's heart. This is Guru Ramdas Ashram. Small thing, no big deal. But ask somebody to just disturb anything of it, see what you all do. Unseen forces are the forces which allow the seen forces to live. Everybody has a guiding deity. Everybody has a higher identity. Paramatma, Param Atma, the soul and the great soul, the God. Up to that you can recognize. But there is another region, Parapar Paramatma. Yonder of the yonder of the yonder. Lineage of the force of the entire universe passes through that golden temple and that Akal Takhat. Time and space creates a cohabitation. In a simple English, they intercourse each other. Out of that, it gives birth to a pregnancy called opportunity. Out of that, it does the delivery called prosperity. No person of you can be prosperous if you do not understand or create an environment for time and space to cohabit. And it's a fundamental law. It's law of love, it's law of God, it's law of creativity. Similarly, when time and space meets and somebody disturbs the main energy center, such as Akal Takhat, the immortal throne, then it disturbs everything. And it is continuous even today. That was the place to which everybody bowed. That was the place which had the identity. It is not politics. It is not a government. It is not some people. You disturb the very center nerve of God energy. There is nothing now anybody can do except everybody should get into prayer. You have to understand something. You are here. You are 12,000 miles from Akal Takhat. You are at 12-hour time difference from Akal Takhat. In some year, at some day, on the 6th of the month of some month, Golden Temple was attacked. And Akal Takhat was cannoned. Is that true or not? Have you forgotten it? No. I called Espinola, the entire community was praying in memory of that martyrdom. Here, we are in prayer of that martyrdom. And wherever any Sikh is, who call himself Sikh, is remembering today. If we ordinary human who are 12,000 miles away from that space, who are months and months are away from what happened, none of you have seen what happened, but none of you can forget what happened. And that is called Isht. There is a nucleus in all of us. There is a thread of life in all of us. There is a prana in all of us. There is a deathlessness in all of us. When that is disturbed, then nothing can stay at peace. These days, when I sit in my own space and I look at the entire universe and try to feel it, sometime in that vision I see the coming years. I even cannot recognize the city and the countries and the people. And sometime out of my curiosity, in my humble, limited way, I look to what happened. And I see a trigger where Akal Takht was blown by a cannon fire. It is not that it shall not affect the entire universe. It is not that it shall not create the effect and the powerful change. Guru Gobind Singh gave us 4 takhats, 4 central nerve center of peace, prosperity, tranquility. And out of that, prime center was disturbed. We come here to pray. We come here to remember that day. We come here to be the part of that day. It's very precious to our soul, It is very precious to our prosperity. It is very great privilege to be here today. And we shall continue this from generation to generation to generation. Every 6th of every month, so long a Sikh will live, so long a believer of Guru Har Gobind live, so long one who belongs to Guru Gobind Singh as a father and Mata Sahib Deva as a mother, so long one who believes in Sri Guru Granth and its purity and its power of ecstasy, we shall remember this day. I just wanted to share with you that what I see and that what I know and that what it is. It was the greatest sacrifice which was offered. Guru Arjan offered himself against tyranny. Guru Tegh Bahadur offered himself against injustice. And Akal Takhat offered himself against the treacherous scheme of ungodliness. The throne of God itself put itself on the line. The martyrdom of the Akal Takhat is a living symbology, is very subtle symbology for all of us who understand the soul, the heart, and the living principle of the universe. Those who believe in peace also believe not to disturb the source of the peace. You have seen the Jews celebrated in the past few months a day. They burned some lights, some lamps. It was the temple, and we call it Hanukkah. I'm just telling the name later to let you understand. Similarly, Christians celebrate something which happened some years ago. It has something with palms. You remember that? What do you call it? What is that about? Do you remember?
It was when Christ entered Jerusalem before he was crucified.
Correct. And on a re-entry to give him the honor, in that desert land there are not a lot of flowers. They put palm leaves on the ground, and that's a symbol of peace and tranquility, whatever we make it today. But to every sacrifice, the post, present, and past is very powerfully attached. What was Christ? A man, skinny, no big deal. What was Moses? A man, old. What you can call about Guru Gobind Singh? In a human body, 42 years of life only, In 42 years of human life, he gave us deathlessness, triumph over tragedy. Made us fearless. Gave us identity which we ourselves cannot hide. Now, what a thief one may be. I asked once an Indian Sikh, I say, you come from a great Sikh family. How you remove your turban and beard and hair? What is wrong with you? He said, Yogi ji, karam are unfortunate. I said, what do you mean a karam are unfortunate? He said, I had a bad habit of drinking. And one day I went to a pub and I overdrank. And I was just lying down in a very bad shape, and somebody said, you are an insult to the great Guru. That Englishman said, you are an insult to that great Guru. And he said, it hurt me. I said, it did hurt you that you should have lived good. He said, but I became the worst. And I said, it is such things are the time to become the best. Why you became the worst? He said, that day I became the worst. I promise you, I'll become the best. I'll take the Amrit. I'll belong to the Guru. What I am explaining to you, in this life there are times and there are times, and each time is a reminder of one thing. There is a time and there is a space and there is you. You have the privilege to be the best or the worst. Between the best and the worst, this is you. You have the choice. It is called free will. Best are those who believe God's will. And sometimes it's very misunderstood what is God will. If I say this is God will, is that a God will? No. If you say this is a God's will, is that a God will? No. God will is when a bad and good is not considered as bad and good, only it is considered as God's will. When there is no low and no high, that equality of all is one and one is all. When recognized, compassion and kindness flows through you. Just remember, when you are very angry, ask yourself one word. I am very angry. Let me be kind to myself. Just ask yourself this affirmation, you will never be angry. Doesn't matter how angry you are. Somebody once told me on the telephone, I am angry. I said, good. Say it again. He said, I am angry. I said, say it again. He said, I am very angry. Don't you hear it? I said, well, these days I'm not well. It takes time to hear it. I said, now listen to me. He said, what? I said, say, I am angry. He said, I have said it thrice. I said, now say 3 times. It is very kind to be angry. Say it 3 times. He said it 3 times. I said, how you feel? He said, I'm not angry. What you have done? I said, nothing. I just added a word kind to that anger. We are all angry. But we have transferred our anger to kindness, to prayer. And we shall continue this prayer till Akal Takhat will have that sovereignty that it will never be attacked again. We are not talking about a ritual. We are talking about a reality. It's a lesson to be learned. Temples are temples, whether they are Jewish temple, they are Hindu temples, they are Christian temples. They are not meant to be attacked. The identity of a temple is the sovereignty of the peace. That is what a lesson has to be learned. And let us all pray to Almighty that He give us the strength to build temples in our heart and give us the sovereignty to keep them free forever. Human is a temple too. Is the temple of God. Guru preside in the chakra of the heart, and wisdom guides its boundaries. You don't know that? The most purest temple of God is the human, and at the heart center preside the word of the Guru. It is sacred, and the head is the boundary of the wisdom of the infinity of God, to which we all belong. Let us today learn to be in tranquility and peace, and not let our head cross the boundaries that our heart can be hurt. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru.